Hey there, welcome back. First off, I need your help. YouTube tags these videos as too controversial, too sensitive for pushing it out to the general public. And it is disturbing how much big tech limits the discussion on safety and the challenges that face our industry. Well, I will not go vanilla on you. I will keep the discussion going, and all I ask is that you smash that like button, hit subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and leave me a comment on what you want to see and what you think about this issue. Thank you very much. So now let's get into it. Greetings from Longo. We're right across the river from Montreal, and about a mile, right as the drone flies, is the International Civil Aviation Organization. ICAO is an arm of the United Nations, and it is the organization that is responsible for standards and that countries use to keep the flying public safe, and so that airplanes can actually fly from country to country seamlessly. It's an important entity on keeping global aviation not only together but safe. But we'll talk about that some other time. Right now, we have more important things to talk about, like aliens. Let's stick it to it. You know, lately we've had a lot of media about UFOs, or the new term, unidentified aerial phenomenon, and blue ribbon panels made up of people that have dedicated their entire life's work about UFOs, and now have come to the conclusion that, there's no aliens. Well, I beg to differ with new information that has come to light. In the official history of the universe, documented in the TV series Star Trek, the Romulans traded their cloaking device technology with the Klingons, who traded their warp technology to the Romulans. Now, after decades of us trying to get stealth technology and doing really well at it, the Marine Corps has a new device that makes their MQ-9 Reaper drone invisible to radar. It is called the TSOR pod, and I think they should simply call it the cloaking device, as it looks very similar to the cloaking device as seen in the original series of Star Trek Season 3, Episode 2. Looks like the same thing. So, the Commandant of the Marine Corps has stated that it has the ability to make the aircraft disappear from radar. How cool is that? We must have traded with the Klingons or the Romulans or something. That is awesome. So, since these videos are controversial, we have to talk about Boeing. And after long delays, the Boeing Starliner spaceship launched on a 3-hour tour, an 8-day mission to the International Space Station. Little did the astronauts know that the ISS was renamed Gilligans Island, as it will be at least 8 weeks before they can return. Now, Boeing is patching up the SS Minnow, and that is one way to get home, or they could use the SpaceX Dragon capsule. NASA has a tough decision to make, and they have the right people in place. The officials that are responsible to make that call, whether to use the SS Minnow or the Dragon, have experience in some way. They touched the Columbia accident. They were all touched by that, and that is in one way or another, and that is experience that will be invaluable on making the call to make the best call possible in this crazy situation for those astronauts. No better experience than that, and I wish them all the best of luck. But is it really that hard? Boeing says everything's okay. NASA still isn't sure what exactly went wrong in the first place. That right there says maybe you don't want to use the SS Minnow to come home. So what would you choose? Ride the Minnow on the way back, or ride the Dragon? This space, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Space is hard. It is risky either way. Let me know in the comments below what you would choose to come home. Okay, that might be a little controversial. There was another near collision in Syracuse, New York, a month ago, And this super early cleared to land procedure needs an overhaul. I hate it. It violates every air traffic control nerve that I have, and I still have a few left. A tower controller may clear an aircraft to land, even if the runway isn't clear, as long as there is a system in place, like ASDX, to provide an alert if something doesn't work out. It drives me crazy that this is the place where planes are really close, getting closer, and controllers are allowed to bet on a situation that hasn't developed, and it may not work out. And as we have seen in the incidents from Austin, Texas, and now Syracuse, that being cleared to land just means an evasive action falls on the backs of the pilots in the aircraft. That's the only way they get separated. Recently at Syracuse, an American Airlines regional jet was cleared to land, and a Delta regional jet was cleared to take off. The American pilot didn't think that was going to work and immediately questioned what was going on. As the controller then aborted the landing clearance, and then the American executed the go-around. It was still flying straight ahead and right over the Delta. The separation wound up to be less than 1,000 feet, and eventually things got back to normal. But had delaying the landing clearance done anything? Well, the American would have been looking for a landing clearance and understood that the situation hadn't developed, that he had complete clearance for the runway, and maybe that situation would have just made things a little more separated in the process. And would that slow the system down? Maybe. But so many things can interrupt a last-second emergency clearance to abort, like someone calling on the radio to say hello, or some other reason, or a clipped mic, or any number of things that could go wrong. The procedure just plain isn't safe, so why do it? I don't care if it slows the system down. Find another way. Efficiency shouldn't overwrite the safety process. Now, a question I have is the new deployment of the Surface Awareness Initiative. Kudos to the FAA for getting new technology out there in a really cool manner in the acquisition process. And now that SAI systems are available at 2 sites. Now it provides surface awareness to the controller. This initiative gives increased awareness on what's going on the runway, and where sites that don't have other systems like ASDX. But these new systems qualify. Will these new systems qualify for that early clear to land procedure, where I can provide that information because I have something that may give me an alert, or should I wait till the actual runway is actually clear? If you have information on how that's going to work, please leave me a note in the comments below. I have to admit, I am hooked on those fails videos on YouTube and Facebook. And if this situation was filmed, this would take the cake. Get a lot of likes from me anyway. Space Pioneer was the first private Chinese space company to reach orbit with their Tianlong 2 rocket. Now, Space Pioneer wanted to do a static test of its latest and more powerful Tianlong 3 rocket. Static testing is where the rocket doesn't fly, it's tethered to the ground, and it doesn't leave the Earth. Well, in this test, they fired the first stage briefly, it ignited, and the anchoring system failed, and the rocket made a surprise launch. Can you imagine the faces on those people about, oops? It didn't go very far, but far enough to avoid the people in the town of 800,000 that it was tested in, and the rocket crashed into a hilly area, and thankfully no one was hurt, which makes it eligible for a fail video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Public. It's to serve. Jesus Christ, my computer shut down. And which is an awesome. Fuck. I am such a stick sometimes. Okay, let's try this all over again.